Hey guys, this is the MTG Noob here, and I am playing a standard deck. This deck came in 5th at this weekend's Star City Games. It's a blue-white humans list, so the main deck is exactly the same as the dude in the top 8. I changed up the sideboard because he admittedly in the profile said that his sideboard was trash. So let's get to the main deck, then I'll talk a little bit about the sideboard. Lands, there are 23 of them. 2 Moorland Haunts, 9 Plains, 4 Fountains, 4 Fortresses, and 4 Caverns. Your Caverns are usually going to be naming human, but sometimes it's good to name something else that you don't want to get countered. Let's talk about the spells in the deck. Yep, there we go. 1. Faith's Shield. Yeah, the rest of the deck's pretty straightforward. It's some creatures, and they beat the crap out of you. 4 Warfalcon sometimes is a liability, but is very good as a 1-drop, 2/1 flyer. Champion is the man, as we all know. Thalia shuts down the slower control decks for there. So every creature in the deck is a 4 of. I didn't mention that, but okay. Now here's the first debate, which is the Precinct Captain over the other 2/2 guy, who I can't quite remember because I'm terrible at Magic. Elite Inquisitor. I make reference to him in one of my other videos, which I'm doing the deck tech last. So yeah, that's the guy I was talking about there too. So he's in because when you're on the play, he spits out dudes. The dudes are really good with the Sublime Archangel. 4 Night of Glory beats the crap out of zombies decks. Also, he's in here because the 2/2 first strike is pretty good. It's not pro zombie, but it's still very good at blocking most of the red deck wins and zombie deck threats. Okay, 3 drops. You have 4 Silverblade Paladins because they are very good and play well with everybody on your team pretty much. They play exceptionally well with your Sky Knights because who doesn't want to swing for 6 in the air on turn 4? And Geist of St. Traft is very, very good. Finally, you have 4 Sublime Archangel because it's a beating, especially good with the Precinct Captain. Like I said previously, spit out some dudes, get some Exalted. In one of my videos, I don't think I stacked the trigger right, so I think you can... Maybe this comes in, Exalted, other creatures you have Exalted, all that good stuff. So make sure you stack your trigger right if that is really a thing. So the main deck basically just is like, I'm going to out-nut draw you and just win. When we go to the sideboard, I'm not really content with the sideboard as this is a deck tech / deck recap. The militants are good. They're against junk, as are the rest in pieces. I brought in 4 Azorius Charms as a way to combat aggro, and I feel like they're good. They also put things on top, which is nice at time walking, and they draw a card, although you're trying not to use them for that. 3 Nevermore, they're good against the slower decks. It's very hard for them to deal with this card, but I have not been very impressed with it, and 3 Detention Spheres, which I wanted to have as many of these as possible without going too over the top. Some people do a 2/1 split in case they kind of slaughter games you or whatever, but I would think they wouldn't bring that in. So that was the deck tech / deck recap. Would I change anything? Main deck, I was very happy. I saw some lists with 2 Spectral Fights. This card's very good. It's kind of like a Miser's one of. I would almost like to see another one in lieu of a land, maybe a second Faith Shield, but you really don't want to miss out on your mid-game. So possibly not, but definitely there. As for the sideboard, I don't think this is the correct sideboard configuration. The only cards I was really happy with were none of them. When you play cards like Nevermore and Detention Sphere, you're kind of changing the tempo of the deck, and you're removing threats in these spots usually, and you're putting in answers. But then if you don't have enough threats and you only have answers, you're not going to win. So I feel the deck is as good as it can get in the main deck, with possibly maybe squeezing in another Faith Shield, but the board needs a ton of work. You have things for various matchups, but you're really not able to change as much as you would like. So if anybody wants to comment on making the sideboard better, please feel free. That would be appreciated. And thanks for watching this deck tech / tech recap. Appreciate it, and check out the mtgnoob.com. Thanks.